Alright. I don't usually do commentary, but I guess we'll give it a shot this time around. I decided to do this video, this part of the video, to show that show the building process for the deck. I don't usually show this because it usually takes forever, so I usually build them off screen. But basically, it took me a long time to get into the idea of what I wanted to do. All this was recorded originally. I'm cutting it down so it could be shown, but I was gonna build an all UR deck, which is basically the super rare, the highest rare that they have, and the expensive cards or whatever if you actually pay for them. But they're the harder ones to get. But I was gonna use whatever I had. I chose not to do that at the last second while recording, mid-record, and I decided to go with this hybrid of a deck that I play, or used to play at least, which is the Ninja deck, and then a hybrid of a easy summon type of mechanic, which would be sprites. So not just sprites, but like 2-star splashable monsters. So I went with Red Resonator, because when you summon him, you get to summon another 4-star or lower monster. The reason I went with sprites is because their engine uses 2 stars. This is for anybody who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, so they wouldn't know. But their engine uses 2-star monsters to get them on the field easier. They also got a couple of little effects each, like negating monster effects and traps and stuff. And then I don't have a full sprite thing because I don't play sprites all like that, so I don't have a full amount of cards that you would have for a sprite deck, all of the big stuff that people use. But because I'm playing ninjas and I'm very familiar with those, and also because I got this other second mosquito thing yesterday in a booster pack, I decided to go with that. And it's extremely easy to make that monster, so that's what I was like, okay, well, we'll base the deck around him this time around. So it's a ninja sprite deck, 2-star monster deck. I don't want to say full sprite because it's a lot of other, well, there's some other cards in there that's not sprites, but anyway, getting off topic. This little ugly chicken thing, bird, crow thing, I took him out. The idea for the deck was to build a dark 2-star deck originally. That was an old deck I was testing out, so that's why I even have that many of him. You can special summon him if you have a dark monster on the field. But when I looked at it later, I saw that the deck didn't even have enough dark monsters for him to be relevant, so I was like, I'm gonna take him out. So he ends up getting taken out. Psychic Rover, I was really debating on even putting him in the deck because, man, so he screwed me over on the last matches when I was trying to go to Diamond. The last 2 matches when I was playing Snake Eyes, he was in my old Snake Eyes deck, and his effect stopped working. Like it just never worked. Coin toss or dice roll or whatever the heck, I don't even remember, but it just wasn't working. He always failed. He wouldn't even get negated. It was just on him, and he cost me Diamond twice when I was up there with the easiest playable deck at the time. So, you know, I'm still holding a grudge against him. If you watched any of the other ninja videos, you kind of know most of the mechanics of how I play the deck, at least. And so I use Cannon Holder a lot because it's an easy summon for the monsters. I use only 2 Gyos because Gyo at 3 he becomes a brick in your hand, and at 1 he gets banished and you never get to use him again, or he'll get stopped and you'll never get to use him again. Or it's rare to use him again, I should say that. 3 Mizens because he's extremely important to ninjas, allowing them to attack directly and also keeping them coming to the field. And then Mitsu, the girl, insect girl or whatever, I used 3 of her, I think, before. I think in my other ninja deck I was only using 2, but I'm using 3 in here because she's 2 stars and she's a negate with other ninjas, at least. So I use this equip card a lot. A lot of people I think when they play ninjas, they don't really use that card as much as they should, but it's very helpful because that's what makes ninjas able to play with banished cards as well as the graveyard. And it clears the board. Not clear, but it it gets rid of problem cards because you can use it to pop itself, or you can use it to pop the monster that you equipped it to, and then it'll get destroyed, and you can use the secondary effect, which gets you a ninja back from out of play. So I use 3 of those always when a ninja deck, because you can just equip it to your opponent, pop your opponent's monster, get your card back, real easy. I use only 2 of the notebook. I used to play 3. I only use 2 because sometimes it shows up and it could be a better card in this place when 2 is enough. In a regular ninja deck, you can get it back easier too. If you play 1, it could get removed. I don't know how. It happened once, so I just know I need 2. And that sprite card, the spell card, I didn't really feel like I should have 2 because I didn't think the sprites were gonna be I didn't think they were gonna be attacking much, so I ended up taking 1 of them out, and it's just kind of like a backup plan or whatever. It's not big in particular, but the trap that was important, so I needed 3. I ended up going with 2, I believe, and it doesn't show as much as I would like it to, but it's fine. But that's a really good trap because it works well with the sprite elf, which is the link monster for sprites, and it also works really well with my mosquito to steal cards, which I use later. It steals monsters and attaches it as a material for Xyz monsters. So it's a really good card to have in there. I think I should have kept it at 3, but it was a couple other cards that I needed or wanted. The ninja trap, I was gonna do 3, but since this is not one of those ninja decks that focuses on flipping your opponent's monsters face down, yeah, I figured it wasn't necessary to do that. Plus I needed space for these little stupid staples. I actually, if you know me, I don't like staples. I prefer to play without them, but you gotta do what you gotta do if you're trying to move forward, I guess. I don't play Ash in this one. I only have 1 Ash now. I decided to get rid of the other 2 because she wasn't showing up. I mentioned that in this first recording, but the whole thing became a whole problem, so that's why I'm doing the voiceover now. Extra deck. When I noticed that Jael was in there, and he's an 8-star monster, and then the 2-star Resonator, I was like, okay, I can make a 10, and that's how Baron and Big Chungus, I don't know his real name. That's what everybody calls him. But yeah, so that's why they're in there. I don't think I actually made them in this video at all. I had the opportunity once, but I didn't feel like it. I mean, I didn't think it was the best play, so I just didn't go for it. I know, weird. Baron, not the best play. Everybody always uses them, or her. But that's oh yeah. So I did do an adjustment here because it's not a 2-star monster, and because you don't really need 3. I took out dang, what's that monster's name? The 1-star fusion. He's not a fusion, but he helps you fuse the ninja, the 1-star ninja. I dropped it down to just 2, I believe, and I can't remember what I added, but I needed to add the card, and that's pretty much the only change I made. I think I'm looking at this. I'm trying to remember. I might have took Psychic Rover out too. What else did I do? I remember adding 1 more card. Oh yeah, the Guardian card. So I love this equip spell. And then I go on this long rant about how it works well with Appaloosa, and not that I even did that play, but I had the opportunity to do that one once too. But again, like, so one of the things I don't like to do is I don't like to play the same card combinations and stuff that other people play, which is kind of the major point behind this video, I guess. This is I guess I took a minute to get into it, but this is the final Yu-Gi-Oh upload from me. I am retiring. I am not playing this game anymore. So it was supposed to be a push to go to Diamond for the first time and finish this off in glory. Spoiler alert, that is not how it ends. But it wasn't a bad video. It wasn't a bad time recording, I mean. Usually I have a terrible time recording. Which is why I switched over from doing the commentary, because I figured nobody wants to hear me just complaining about the game the whole time I'm playing it. So I just started doing my replays, posting my replays. So one of the things that's making me quit, let's get into that before the duels start. Because this, I believe the deck is finished being built, and I spent a lot of time talking about reasons why I put stuff in, and then took a minute to make a name. Little Ninjas. Woo, big name. Anyway, one of the main reasons I'm quitting, main reason, is I'm originally an animator, at least hobby wise, and I'm trying to turn that into a career type of thing. At this point in time, it's very difficult to make money from it, which is why it's a hobby. But I also hadn't put that much effort into it like I'm about to start doing. And Yu-Gi-Oh is a very time-consuming game. So I decided to cut that situation off. Now, the big reason after that is because the game is no longer fun for me. And I can see it heading towards an even less fun direction, and I'm not interested. I think so to preface this, I exclusively play Master Duel. I don't play TCG or anything like that. I used to a long time ago, but I quit, and then I came back for Master Duel because, you know, easy access, free play, not paying for cards all the time. You know, it's got its benefits. It got its good benefits. But it ended up transforming. So when I got into Master Duel, I did not get into Master Duel when it first came out, because I didn't even know about it. I wasn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh. My brother recommended that I get into it and play. And while I first declined that I did not want to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh, I ended up getting into it, and I think the newest pack that had just came out was branded. So this was their first round. They didn't have any other support yet, and I'm still in the process of learning the new mechanic, because when I stopped playing, it ended. Synchro had just ended, and Xyz was just starting. So at the card shops, some people would have Xyz cards in their decks. Back in the day when I, went to the card shops and stuff. So I was exiting at that time because it was changing too fast, and I was like, I don't know if I like this, because I was just getting used to synchros, and that's a long history. But anyway, when I got into Master Duel, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I'm kind of liking getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, but these I think Pendulum and Link monsters were tripping me up, because Xyz are pretty simple to understand right away, and of course Synchro already knew about them, but the new stuff, the Pendulum scales, man, it was a problem with them books that they got on there as card text. And so many of them to have in a deck is really like reading a novel, and then to do it at the pace that you do when you play this game, that's automatically no fun. So I would be doing commentary for these videos, these matches, but you can watch them in the background. It's funny, like the one that just passed, it was funny. He played the card, and he just didn't have any. He had no dark monsters, so he ended up just quitting. that's I'm sidetracked. But anyway, so I got I got back into it. I was playing and I didn't like going against Branded, but of course when a new pack comes out, that's how it is in Master Duel. People flock to it. Everybody's playing that card, that pack and the deck that comes with it, and then you know you got to deal with it. This was a bot, just real quick, that I'm going against. It's a bot. You may have gone against it. I figured if he's gonna have equipped cards, I'm just gonna give him more equipped cards and cause problems. And this is probably the smartest bot I've ever seen. Just a little side note. He saw his outcome, and the weirdest thing I've ever seen a bot do, or at least this bot, because I've gone against this one enough. He quit. He quit instead of attacking and just losing. I know that wasn't a person. It couldn't have been a person. But anyway, when I got back into the game, it was problematic to go against Brandy. But I was still enjoying the game, so I kept playing. And then I don't remember what pack came out after that. You get used to going against the different packs, so it wasn't a problem going against Brandy eventually. And then what was it? Well, Labyrinth took a long time to get theirs in, but if you know anything about me dueling, this Labyrinth is the worst deck in my opinion to ever have to go against. And it's not even the strongest that you will go against. It's just the most annoying. But I don't remember what else happened while I was like I just was playing and then beginning to get the old feelings back of the game and get my addiction to the game, because you know you want to play, you want to build decks, you want to keep going. The ladder system, the rank ladder, is it's a problem, I think. If I was to say the best way to fix it, because one of the major problems I find, and I don't know if it's absolutely necessary, some people might agree, but I think for people who want to play at that extra competitive level, like they do, like they have it for the ladder and like master rank and all that stuff up there, I think it could be categorized into spots like based off the time. So originally you get 300 seconds or whatever. It doesn't feel like 300 seconds. It feels like way longer, but you get to 300. I think people who play competitively should have 300. And I think also people in that category should have access to 3 of everything that they use, like the Maxis and the Ash Blossoms and all that stuff. And that's what they like to do in the combos and all that stuff. I think they should be like that. And there should be a 200-second bracket and a 100-second bracket. So for people who actually want to just play the game back and forth dueling, that is where the 100 seconds will come into play. You can have Maxi, but you're limited to 1, and you should be limited to 1 of everything that people play. The combos are possible to do in that short amount of time, but people, I feel, will be more likely to mess them up, so they probably won't do as many, or they'll find shorter combos which will make the game more bearable. So that also not having triple Maxis and triple Imperms and Ash Blossoms, and well, they only got 2 call buys, but still, even all that stuff would be dropped down, so then they can focus on actually being creative and building a deck that, you know, is their idea and not just what the meta is saying that they have to play in order to rise. So I think if it was categorized that way, people who like to play long combo decks wouldn't have to even interact with people who want to just play the game for fun. And it would be a lot less stress in the 100 bracket, whereas competitive players can go hog wild up in master rank with their little 300-hour combinations that they got to do. And I think, honestly, overall, that would fix the game. Now there are problematic cards in the game, but like I said, if you categorize them where they can only use so much in certain places, and you can move brackets if you want to. If you want to move your time up to 300 seconds, then that'd be fine. But you just know that when you do, you're going to be dealing with all the problematic players. Yes, the combo players are the problematic players. Because they don't, I don't want to rant about that. But anyway, in my opinion, they're the problematic players. Stun players are problematic too. But I think, actually, you know what? That probably would be the biggest issue down in 100 rank. The 100-second thing is be all stun players, because it doesn't take long to set up a stun combo, like set up a stun board. It takes very little time. Well, maybe you can't fix it. I don't know. So in this video, I'm gonna mention it now because it's not near the end of the video yet. But there was a duel that I had to cut off because it was getting choppy at the end of it, and the video just was unbearable to watch. But my last duel was actually against an Eldritch deck, and it was actually pretty good. But recording just didn't work out. Also, if you're wondering while listening to this why there's no sound for the screen, I don't know. I figure I might just mention this because you don't see it in the other videos as well. There's no sound for like the card play and all that stuff. See, this one's choppy too, but I didn't want to do any extra editing and stuff. But yeah, so the sound on screen had to be cut out because when I used to upload on my other channel, I used to get copyright claims all the time whenever I tried to upload. So I just decided to cut all sound in the video and then play just play some music. So if you notice in the other videos, that's how it is. It's just royalty-free music. And I make sure to use YouTube's royalty-free music. So it's really no issues. So this duel here, this was one of the tougher ones. I really wish it wasn't choppy, but this one and the Eldritch deck, the two that I feel people should see, are the ones that ended up being a little choppy. But this one, this duel is choppy, and then it gets stable again or whatever. I don't know why it was doing this, but basically this is the Lair of Darkness deck, the one that tributes your monsters, your dark monsters, and they turn all your monsters dark. This is that duel. While I was recording, I was explaining how you're supposed to beat that deck because I used to play that deck. And basically you get rid of the field card and you do whatever you can to keep their field card off the field. Most people who build that deck play heavy amount of traps, because once their field is out there, it's very difficult to get a monster on the field without them tributing it and causing more problems. So you basically, if you I'm just on like tips on how to beat these decks that I know, and you only taking advice from a platinum player, so take that as far as you can take it, I guess. I don't know, but technically is a gold player. I said this in the other recording, but technically I'm a gold player simply because when I started playing, I was in gold and I could not get to platinum the same way I can't get to diamond right now. And it's not because I've gotten better, it's simply because they added master rank, so everything just shifted over. It's not like my skills gotten any better. It's always a feeding frenzy down here in these ranks. So it gets difficult. But yeah, I hated watching that because it was all choppy. But yeah, see, it fixes back up for the next duel. I really wish that one would have played out. But yeah, I just kept his field card gone. He couldn't get a second one, and He couldn't handle anything. So this guy, nah, I think the other guy who played Maxx C to death actually beat me. These are all wins, mind you. I'm only uploading the wins. This is my last video. I'm going out with style, I guess. But yeah, so everybody always got Maxx C in their first hand. It's one of the most annoying cards. Oh yeah, this dude quit. He quit because he played Crossout Designator and had no way to play. Like, it didn't have a purpose. And I guess that was one of those embarrassing quits. I've had a few where you make a mistake and you're just like, well, that's gonna cost me big, and you just leave. This was a pretty long duel. This one, he made me work for this victory, man. And I also believe he played ninjas, or he either played against ninjas a lot before, or he actually played ninjas, because he knew a lot of the card combos and stuff and effects that I was trying to get off. Fast, I would say. He recognized them instead of taking a second to read them. I mean, he could read fast. I don't know this guy, but like this upcoming play when I bring out Mitsu. Now, people who don't play against ninjas often don't recognize that she's a negate. Of course, this will get a little choppy too. Whenever it's a good duel, that's when they get choppy. But those little rinky-dink matches where people just quit, they play all smooth. So, this one here, okay, so this is when I bring out Mitsu, and instead of using his effect and getting negated, like most people would do, they don't read, he attacked her first and then went main phase 2 to use his effect. Now, this is kind of the reason I actually play ninjas, is because whoever designed the archetype for them, like their structure deck, they did such a good job of making them an all-around deck. They have access to all of the things, and I think that's how all of the decks archetypes should be. They shouldn't be overly cracked with one card starters and they make your whole combination last for 45 minutes just because you play one card. No, they're Snake Eyes, I'm talking about you. I mean, for now, ninjas do have the easy fusion summon. I think that's a little bit cheating, but it's not like over the top. The easy fusion, it keeps up with the rest of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I think it's fair. Now, I think the lack of knowledge of how to play against ninjas does do a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to getting victories with them, because a lot of people don't really know how to play against ninjas. Also, you can build ninja decks different ways to make them more unique to the way you want to play. For instance, if I played ninjas and I wanted to play the flip them face down strategy, then I'd have a bunch of Book of Moons and Book of Eclipses in there, and then the trap card that tributes monsters that are face down, and it'll just keep recycling my monsters and getting rid of theirs, and you can play it that way. I personally like to use Maizen to attack directly. Also, the Mosquito that I got, that guy is, people don't know his effect either, and that makes him extremely dangerous. But him and Maizen on the field at the same time allows any one of my little weak ninjas to be a problem, because his effect, the Mosquito, his effect triggers every time somebody attacks. So with little guys attacking directly because of Maizen, even 200 to your life points would then become, say, on this duel, I got the Mosquito bite thing on the 2100, the monster. Then 200 would be 2300, and then the next little monster hit him directly. Maizen attacks, and then it becomes 5,000 something. Like, so the hits get really bad. and these are all direct hits. Now Mirror Force will put a damper on a lot of that, but most people don't play Mirror Force, so it's not a big deal. Also, actually, I don't know if Mitsu's effect works with any card. I don't think it's an Omni Negate. I think it's strictly monsters, and it might just be monsters on the field. No, I think it's monsters in hand too. That's neither here nor there. That's irrelevant. So it was getting real problematic with the freezing up on this one. But yeah, he finally attacked and caused his final, damage from the mosquito. Also, the mosquito, for those who don't know, he might have to go against it. He also negates the monster that he puts the bite on. So yeah, I think this might be the duel you get to see that. Yeah, this is the end of the... Yeah, this one was the end. So you'll see it. It saved me big. So this person, they're playing a 60 card female deck. So basically every monster they play is a girl, except the one that cost them the duel, I guess. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, every card they were playing was like harpies and what's the Queen's Knight. But I didn't see the other cards that go with like Queen's Knight. And then they got this Chaos Hunter, I think is his name or her name, and she prevents cards from being banished. So I had to get rid of her, and then he brings it back later. But I had to figure out another way because I use banish cards in this deck, and he was really stopping my card combos and was annoying me, and that was a mistake. That was one of my that was a huge mistake when I did that. So I activated my trap to put the other trap back in my hand, and I forgot that trap was connected to Jayo. So when I put it back in my hand, he died. So I had to get some redemption for him later. I got him back. But when I put that on her, I thought about it like, oh no, I can't banish anything, so I can't use the card to destroy her. But then I remembered the mosquito negates effects. So negated her effect, put the equip card, well, use the equip card to destroy the back row, and then the plan was to kill the hunter next turn. Well, maybe kill her next turn. I don't know. I was going to get as much damage out of him as I could, but he tributed for her. I mean, for him, the only guy that he played. And that was about to be a problem until the mosquito comes in to save the day. Put the bite on them, and he loses his effect. I didn't even realize it until his attack connected. And I was like, oh yeah, he lost his effect. And yeah, there it is right there. And he didn't quit, surprisingly. I was like, most people, as soon as they realize they can't use their effects, and that's all they got, they just quit. But he let this happen. So we go Maizen. We attack directly and then trigger the effect. It's 3,000 for the mosquito bite, and then Maizen's 2,500 directly.
That's game!
So I hope you guys enjoyed this final Yu-Gi-Oh upload. There is more content to come, just not Yu-Gi-Oh! So please like and subscribe for that. And I will catch you guys in the next one.
He's gone.
Well, Snoozy, goodbye.